When Ava DuVernay took on Selma, she made the decision to spotlight the often overlooked women of the civil rights movement. Those who walked the front lines and even sacrificed their lives, including freedom marcher Viola Liuzzo, played by Tara Oaks.
My name is Mary Liuzzo Lilibo. My mother was a Michigan housewife and mother of 5.
On March 7, 1965, 39-year-old Viola was at home in Detroit with her husband, Anthony, and their children.
My mom and dad were playing Scrabble in the living room on Bloody Sunday when they broke into the programming and showed pictures of the people being beaten on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and it broke her heart. And when Dr. King came on TV and asked people to come to Selma, Alabama and help, she decided that she was going to do that.
This is where it happened, on Route 80, Lounsboro, Alabama. The shooting took place just over the top of that hill up there last night.
At the end of a very successful march, she was driving people back from Montgomery to Selma when she was riding with a young black co-worker, a 19-year-old Leroy Moten, and they were spotted by a car full of Klansmen. They followed her and shot into the car and killed her.
Viola's passenger, Leroy Moten, would survive the attack. Viola, who had been shot twice in the head, died instantly.
In southern parts of the state, it was a no-no for black and white to ride together. Here's a white woman riding around with a black boy in her car, trying to help get people back and forth to their home. What happened here, here's the racists come along and say, okay, here's the opportunity. We can get rid of one of the troublemakers, you know, and this will happen.
Her death reveals that many white persons of goodwill who are so committed to the cause of justice and human dignity that they are willing to pay the supreme price as a result of their standing up.
Viola's death caught the attention of the nation. She was seen as a martyr for the movement. And in a cruel twist, her family became the target of hate from white racists around the country, determined to tarnish Viola's name.
Probably one of the hardest parts for me was when my mom died was the younger sisters and brothers. We weren't prepared at all for the amount of hatred and meanness and anger that were hurled at us. She was called a tramp, she was called a drug addict, that she was a whore, that she went down south to be with black men, that she wasn't a good mother. The Ladies' Home Journal even did a survey, and the majority of the women in the country said no, she should not have left her children to go participate in something that was none of her business. My mom loved her children enough to want a better world. She saw a bigger picture than her home, her 5 children. She could have stayed home, but she was smarter than that. She wanted the world to be better.
So when you went in and looked at this script and decided that you were going to make this movie, your charge was what?
My charge was to humanize King and to make a civil rights film that felt interesting. I don't know. I usually have a distance from those kinds of films. Yeah. If they feel like medicine or a history lesson. And I think, you know, I'm an African-American studies major from UCLA. History is beautiful when it's taught in a vibrant way and you learn it and you take it in and you contextualize it for yourself. But so often cinema treats history as this kind of pristine, kind of like medicine.
Like spinach.
Like spinach, yes. And so...
With no butter.
No.